Let's see what we got.
I hope you don't have me a tough line of questions that you're gonna ask, man.
No, man, never that.
I just kind of wing it with this fatherhood thing.
Really, nigga?
Never that.
Fatherhood is something like you just kind of get in it.
Sound like pom pom to me.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like, actually. Just get in it, bro.
I wasn't gonna say anything, but since you fell into it.
Say you fell into it.
Yeah.
That's literally
Let's
how it
see what
happens.
we got, man. I'm gonna do.
Y'all just fall into it. Huh?
Yeah, and you do what feels right.
Well, there you go. Bada boom, bada bing.
My man, I got some agreements.
Man, it feel good to hear that bomb, boy. The last 4 podcasts I done done, you ain't been here, I ain't heard no bombs.
I love it.
Fire.
If I don't do them on Sunday or Monday, I don't bother you.
Yeah.
This it right here?
That one right there.
Yeah, with a little volume, man.
Yeah.
Sip my water. That's how you feel, Jay?
Yeah.
I
That's how
miss
we
you,
all
man.
feel.
I miss seeing you in
That's how
there,
we all
boy.
feel.
I miss seeing you in there.
Like that.
All right. Let me sip my water real quick.
Let me sip the water too.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and get this thing started, man. What's up, man? Welcome back to another episode of the What You Mean podcast, where our What's New segments for the month of June has been dedicated to some dope fathers that we know and we've come across, man. I'm your host, LaCheston.
And I'm your co-host, Kim.
And we back, man, and we got somebody dope here that we done brought in that's gonna bless us on the podcast today, man. So you fathers, man, go ahead and grab you a brew. You know what I'm saying? If you a wine drinker, go and grab you the bottle of wine. Just put a straw in the whole bottle, bro. Just put a whole straw there. But, you know, we're going to spin the table, man, and let him tell you who he is, man. And then we're going to get this thing started, man. Kendall, you got the floor, bro.
Well, I'm Kendall Latham. I'm 37 years old. Been married for going on 12 years. Right now, I have 4 kids. I don't plan on having any more. My first 3 were boys, and my last one was a little girl. I thought I was going to get out of there without having a little girl, but I did, and she has blessed me, opened my eyes up to a new perspective of fatherhood, because I thought it was just the rah, do this, do that, I'll knock you out. But with the little girls, it's a little bit different. So,
Gracie.
Yeah, Gracie, you know all of them, man. So, yeah, so that's just a little bit about myself. By day, I'm a banker. We got a couple of businesses on the side. We hustle. All my kids are active. They're involved in sports. Grace just had her first gymnastics class on today.
Okay.
So that's how I got caught up into kind of having to take Connor to baseball practice. And of course, I had my baby boy with me. And while Connor practices with his team, then I take him out, to the batting cages and take him out to the field, ground balls, batting practice, etc. And that's how we roll.
Okay.
So what are their age ranges?
Well, my oldest is 12. That's Amir. He's actually in Germany.
Oh, wow.
My second one is 11. My third one is 6. And my baby girl is 5. So back to back.
Boy, couldn't stay out of that thing, huh, Jay?
Back to back.
Drop the ball.
Don't do me like that.
Well, man, pretty much, man, we wanted to follow suit with what we done. Kim and I decided to dedicate the month of May. Of course, we only have, just Mother's Day on that one particular day, but we wanted to celebrate some dope moms that we knew the whole month of May, and we wanted to do the same thing.
That's cool.
In the month of June to celebrate some fathers that we know, what I'm saying? Just come in and just talk fatherhood, the everyday challenges, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, the major thing about the What You Mean podcast is whenever we leave out of here, you know what I'm saying, we want you to have left something on the table or giving our listeners something that they possibly didn't know, you know what I'm saying,
right.
or something that my thing has always been this, and you know this because we probably discussed it before, you know what I'm saying. When I was married, Carlos and Hope actually invited me and Charnicia to a little it was everybody was married. It was like a couples get there, but everybody was married.
Like a retreat?
And yeah, I don't know if it was we'll call it a retreat because they did it at their home.
Okay.
So it was all laid out. They had this big long nice table. Everybody sat down and they were discussing just things that they like or may not like about their spouse. And a lot of things that me and Charnicia was going through at the time, it was crazy to hear some of these people that had been married for so long actually deal with the same things. So that's kind of sort of what we want to do with the podcast. You know what I'm saying? It's not saying that you have fatherhood completely figured out. You know what I'm saying? Because Carlos has told me every day is something new. You know what I'm saying? You're learning something new every day when it comes to fatherhood. So I just want for our listeners to be able to be like, you know what, the dude Kendall that was on the podcast, like I heard some stuff, some gems that he dropped, man, and it really helped me out. So that's kind of sort of what we're trying to do with our Father's Day segment, if that makes sense.
That's what it does. It does.
So what you got, Kim? I'll let you kick this one off.
What does it mean to you to be a father of 4?
What does it mean to me to be a father? I like to approach fatherhood like this. I like to deal with my kids as a father as my Heavenly Father deals with me, right?
I love this
So,
answer. Okay.
so I have to understand as much as they mess up and as much coaching that I have to do with them, my Heavenly Father does the same thing with me.
Right.
Of course, it's not up to them to be like, Dad, you messed up, or Dad, you could have done this better. But I do have somebody that I have to answer to when it comes through conviction, right? So what it really means to me is giving them that same, check it out, love that I get from my Heavenly Father. I have to exude that same love, grace, mercy on my kids as well.
Yeah.
So
That's what's up, man. So go ahead. No, you got to follow. Go ahead. You got it.
So what have been some challenges that you've had to overcome with being a father?
I say one of the biggest challenges, and this comes from having multiple kids and young kids, is being able to decipher when to apply the correct form of discipline. That's what it is for me, because I'm one of those ironclad, do what I say dads, and I don't want any time lapse in between what I said. So if there's like a 5-second freeze from when I say do something, oh, I'm on it. I got a problem with that. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just being able to apply the correct form of discipline based on what they've done or what they haven't done, and just helping them to understand that it's not coming from a place of me being mean. It's just that I want you to be able to respond to me in the correct way, because when we release you out here in this world and the police say, get your hands up, you got 5 seconds, if that, to get your hands up. And if not, with the little boys, oh, you know what time it is. They are going to shoot you down.
Right.
And they're going to ask questions later. So don't ask me why I'm telling you to do something. Just do what I say.
Right.
You know, so that's one of the biggest challenges for me as far as parenting.
Wow.
Got you. So what you putting it in perspective, like you're this iron hard type dad, like if you had to put it into perspective right now, like what would you say would be like if you had to put like dads in like 3 different classes, like you just said, like I'm an iron, like do what I say type dad. Yeah, like how if you had to put dads as a whole in like 3 different classes, like what would you say those 3 different classes would be?
Those 3 different classes, I would think, starting with the hardest, would be the ironclads, right? The ones who do what I say and don't ask any questions, just believe and trust in what I'm telling you, and I'm going to guide and steer you in the right direction. That's that ironclad dad. Then you have the talkers. The ones who try to talk their kids through everything. And I do a lot of talking as well, helping them to truly understand what's going on. But I think the understanding comes after you do what I tell you to do. Then I'll come back and bring you back to understanding.
Right.
All right. And then I think you have I want to live through my kids' dads. Yeah, that's the dad I don't want to be. I'll tell my kids in a minute. My kids tell me, Dad, I don't want to work. I don't want to play ball today. Okay, that's fine with me. But when you get out there and you sorry, don't look at me. Don't look at me and expect me to be cheering. Hey, baby, that's all right. No, bro, what happened? What happened out here is a culmination of what we did at practice when you didn't want to work. So That's your three types right there, man.
Okay.
You got your ironclads, you got your talkers, and you got the I'm trying to live through my kids' dads.
So growing up, like, what type of father did you experience from your own dad?
Ooh, my mom, if you will. Okay. Yeah. Now, my dad, I do know my dad, and I had some kind of interactions with him, you know, and it wasn't bad or anything like that. My dad, he was a preacher, had been preaching for I don't know how long, but the relationship wasn't really, you know.
There.
Yeah. But it was all good because I'm cool with my dad, right? Right. He's good. I call him Pops. That's who he is to me. But the real dad side, my mom was more of a dad than she was a mom, if you understand what I'm saying.
I do.
I had one of them, I hit you with this frying pan type mom. like for real. Like for real. And she wasn't playing. Like, straight upside your head. Oh, she coming with the fist.
Right. I will knock you down. Listen, I don't care if you're bigger than me.
You know.
And it was the common respect that we had for our mom that we just, I mean, it wasn't gonna be no reaction behind it anyway.
That's right. That's right.
Like it was automatic submission, you know.
That's right. So, correct.
But you can continue.
Yeah, well, that was the relationship. That was the dad parenting that I got. And of course, my granddad was present, but you know, he was an older man, and you know, he was kind of on the downside. You know, as I started to grow, and he probably ended up passing when I was like maybe 10 or 11 years old. So, you know, but with my mom, even while he was living, my mom was still the same way. So a lot of what I learned about being a man, I had to learn from my mom. And you being a woman, Kim, you probably would understand that your knowledge there is going to be limited.
Yeah,
women have a vision of what a man should be in their own minds, and they try to make their kids out into that. But really and truly, us as men, when we don't have that proper guidance, we have to form what we understand to be a man.
Right.
And a lot of times what's wrong with kids today, I believe, is when they don't have that proper guidance there, they don't have that male figure in their lives, they go to TV. They go to rap music. Yep. They go to their friends that may, you know, not be doing the right thing. That looks masculine, but kind of is going to get you on that wrong path, that path to destruction, if you will.
Right.
I agree.
So he's given a whole lot of biblical and spiritual references. So I guess we could take a little turn there real quick. So a lot of people who are probably listening to this or watching this know that me and Kendall served in ministry together for probably about 5 years.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
I think it's probably about 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
We served together. We were ordained together as well. So you know, how does I know you just said that your dad was a preacher. So how does me in the ministry tie into how you raise your kids? Like you got a lot of kids that or a lot of, I'd say, women that I've met even in my younger days when I was dating that were PKs, and they carried themselves in a certain way. Like they might have had some downfalls just like everybody else, but they have, like, you know, that little one thing that sets them apart from other kids. You know what I'm saying? So is that something like that's implemented inside of your household, whereas in people be able to tell how Connor and how Gracie and King carry themselves, that they are attached to a preacher?
That's a great question, actually, Cheston, because you know me personally, right? And I'm a real dude.
Right.
So with me, it's kind of a fine line that I have to walk in, as far as giving my kids too much information and giving them the right information. Okay. So one thing I try to do is I try to make sure that they are equipped with the right information. But also, I'm going to give you the other side that a regular or a quote unquote pastor or preacher or something like that may or may not tell you, depending on their level of realness in them. You see what I'm saying? So I think at times you can see in their respectability, the yes sirs, the no sirs, they're going to do what you tell them to do. You ain't going to get much kickback from them, etc. Yeah, you'll be able to tell in that regard. And I mean, even with Bible study, Sunday school and all that, I conduct all of that myself. I make sure they know from a real perspective, and I kind of break it down to them. So even if you ask them questions about the Bible, they'll probably answer some questions that grown folks don't know. You know, so
you're probably right.
Yeah, I'm telling you. And so in that regard, yeah, you're going to be able to tell. But now on the same token, you get them outside of their element and in that classroom with their peers around and all of that. Oh, You may or may not know, depending on how they feel that day.
Right.
Got you.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because kids are going to be kids, so we try to, I try to give my kids enough room to be able to be themselves, but also to know the difference between right and wrong.
Right.
Got
You
you.
know, so
And I think you just put that in a great perspective. I mean, I think the overall aspect of, you know what I'm saying, of course we want our children to know right from wrong. You know what I'm saying? We want them to know what's right and what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? And if you are a believer, then you want to instill in them the same thing that's instilled in you. You know what I'm saying? I like how you also highlighted the strongness that just fathers play in the household right now because of what society is bringing to our kids when they're not around,
Male
the
figures.
household, the parents, male figures, just overall, like who they're being raised by. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I'm going to tell you one thing, but you're going to go to school and you're going to hear 3 others.
that's right. That's right. And you prepare them for that, brother.
Exactly. So what you're instilling in them allows for them to triumph the difference of what they're, hearing on the outside.
That's right.
So that's what's up.
You raise up a child.
And the way they should go, and when they're older, they shall not depart from it. That's what the scripture says.
Only one I know is spare the rod.
Oh, hey, but if you spared, you know what's gonna happen. You're gonna spoil them, and that may be a problem of mine because I will spare because, like I said, I try to allow them the same grace that God has given me, and I feel like on numerous occasions, God has kept that rod off my back.
Gotcha.
Right. So, and I feel like that same grace that I get, I got to apply it to my kids as well. So, whereas I could have beat the brakes off you for what you just did or what you just said or what I just saw you watching, I'm gonna give you another chance.
Gotcha. I feel you on that. I mean, I think he beat me down right now too.
Well, the thing is, for guys like us, when we get the hammer dropped on us, we get the hammer dropped, and that's how I roll. When I drop this hammer is gonna be heavy.
You sound like my mama. I'm gonna whoop you for old and new.
There you go. There you go. That's where we get it from, brother.
Man.
Yo,
Lord, spare me. Spare me. Jesus.
She wasn't sparing you at all.
Huh?
I said she wasn't sparing you at all.
Who is she?
Your mama.
No, she didn't. She didn't. The only one that got spared was my little brother.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I think she was out of gas by the time he got here. I think she just didn't have that tenacity as she had with me and my sister. Like,
You got the
like
full
my
tank.
little brother was a surprise. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's learning experience too. So whereas she felt like, okay, I went hard on LeCheston, maybe I don't have to go so hard on him because LeCheston is actually turning out to be okay. So I can give him a little bit more leeway.
Nah, man, she should have whooped that nigga ass like she whooped our ass. That's what she should have did.
You
For
sound a little
real.
salty.
He is salty.
I
You
bring
can't tell.
her all the time.
Definitely
Like
salty.
she did not whoop that Negro like she whooped us, bro. See,
You
I
got
mean,
a full
but I got to
tank.
whoop him one time. My mama so bad, man. I don't think I got to whoop him for a couple years after that, boy.
Really?
Yes, boy.
Oh, wow.
For real.
Oh, she
boy.
tightened you up. That's what it was. It wasn't that the
Man,
whipping was
look,
so
bruh.
bad. You just knew not to jump out of line again.
Bro, it wasn't. Bro, it was the whooping too, though. What
It's
you
the whooping
mean? It
too.
was like a combo, bro. It was like a combo. I was like, man, you know what?
I want to know what you did though to win.
It had to been pretty rough.
Yes.
We were supposed to. Me and my sister were supposed to go to my aunt's house to help her rake her yard, rake the leaves up. And my best friend D'Angelo Wesley, like that's my dude. He stayed like in walking distance from my auntie though. I don't think my auntie called my mom to or let my mom know that they wasn't gonna be at home. So when we walked over there to do her yards and she wasn't there, we was like, okay, we'll just keep checking back till she get here because we wanted to rake the little yards and make the little money. So we walked over to my homeboy D'Angelo house, started playing. Hour or so went past. We'll go back over there to my auntie house until she there. She not there. We go back over to D'Angelo's house, play some more. D'Angelo grandmama, rest in heaven, Miss Martha, love you to death. Man, she used to cook some of the finest greens I ever ate in my life, bro. She cooked some greens that day or
With the
whatever.
fat back in 'em?
Man, look, man, I don't know what she put in them. I just know they were hidden. So she fed us that day and everything. So we walked back over there one last time, man, to see if my auntie was there. She still wasn't there. And then we lost track of time.
Oh.
We lost track of time. So my mom got off work by 4:30. And when she got off work, she was looking for us. And she couldn't find us.
Of course. And she
couldn't.
went by that house in that yard,
and
one
we
raked.
and one rate. My auntie them had just got there. They had took my Uncle Clifford at the time to a doctor's appointment. That's why they wasn't there. All right. So my mom can't find us. She done called my grandmama went with my grandmama with my aunt. She can't find us. So all of a sudden, we start seeing a whole lot of police cars ride up and down side road. We don't think nothing of it. Me and my sister, we playing. We having the time of our life. Blast. We hanging with our friends. Whatever the case may be. And I don't know what made my mom put two and two together, but for some reason she went over, came over to D'Angelo.
She knew y'all
house, came over there, and all I heard was Chester, Shelly. Cause we was in the woods playing. Like we was the type of kids like it was a pathway like with this big ditch, you know what I'm saying, with a tree laying across it. Like we all in the woods playing like that. So we all I hear is mom say, Chester, Shelly. We turn our head like that. We go up there. All my mama said is, y'all better beat me to the house. And my sister was going slow. I'm thinking if we beat her to the house, we'll be okay.
Yeah.
Man, we got to the house, bro. You know what I'm saying? I think the way that my mama chastised us is the way that my mama chastised us. I never felt like I had to go to no police, no authority or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But bro, it was one of them whoopings with some that I don't care to really say on the podcast. You know what I'm saying? But bro, when she broke it out, I was like, no, anything but that, bro. After I got that ass whooping, Kendall, I didn't get a whooping for years after that, bro.
Ooh.
She was mad. And I felt bad for my sister because my sister wasn't good at getting whoopings. You gonna have to chase her.
That's
you
an acquired taste, brother.
You got to chase her and everything. Like I'm sitting outside of the room after I got my whooping and I'm still crying for her because she can't take it.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Let me flip back. Do you think that whooping would have been easier or harder from a father?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I think as a father, you probably would have pawned it off on the mom.
Okay.
I think you would have pawned it off on the mom. You know what I'm saying? Because, all right, everybody in the room know I love my ex.
That's right.
I used to hate for her to whoop my stepdaughter, bro. Like the rule was, if you got a whooper, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
Like let me go outside, smoke some, come back. Like I don't want to see her, hear her get no whooping. Like
you told me.
Because in my eyes, I feel like she can't do nothing wrong. Even though she gets to that age where the attitude is kicking in and everything. And I didn't experience the attitude. But I ain't like to see her get no whoopings.
Yeah.
Like I just, so I think that, I think the father, if he probably would have been as upset as the mom, but he probably would have pawned it off on the mom when he came whooping the girl.
I feel like that is true because even when I think about how I grew up, my dad never whooped me. Ever.
He pawned it off on the mom?
I think he may have like tapped my leg like once. But like if I got in trouble, which wasn't like too often, it was from my mama.
You know what? I can agree with him because I try to stay off of my daughter, but she makes it hard for me because
Gracie be trying you, man.
Man, it tries me.
We
to
do that.
Max. Because she knows I will hit one of her brothers before I hit her.
Yeah.
So I end up threatening her a lot. And I've been warning her probably for the past couple of months. Gracie, when I get you, I'm going to get you. Gracie, when I get you, I'm going to get you. She still be trying me, bro. Still be trying me.
Who's she looking more like, you or Keisha?
She probably looking like a mama. Okay. She probably looking like a mama.
She's still thick?
Yes. Okay. Yes. She is. And she ain't slowing down either.
So you think that she's gonna the physique she's gonna take care of is gonna be more so like the Keisha physique?
Yeah, she's gonna be stout, bro.
Gotcha.
Grace is definitely gonna be stout. And she can use it. Like she played baseball with King this past year. It's
a co-ed kids group?
Well, yeah, at least for that age because it's 5 and 6 year old.
Okay.
And we actually went to the championship, man. We got beat in the championship, but they did pretty good though.
That's what's up.
They did, and you know I was a head coach now.
Man, how you always end up coaching or holding the chain or something? Like, what's really going on out here?
Well, I sign up because my philosophy is when they're that age, ain't nobody gonna be as hard on them as me, right? So I want them to learn early that you got to get out there and you got to put it on the line. So that screaming and hollering I'm doing that, I'm just letting them know it's real. Just like I scream and holler at you, I'm going to scream and holler at these other teammates too, but I'm going to be harder on you because I'm expecting more from you. And the more that your teammates or your peers see that I'm riding you and the more you do, the more they're going to raise their level of performance. Right. And that's anywhere, in the classroom, that can be on any sports field, reading a book, wherever. We can do it.
Got you.
How long have you been coaching?
What? Connor's 11. Yeah, probably
Connor.
about 7-8 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, and you do you know the motivational guy with the the black guy with the bald head. It's a couple of them, but this one in particular was like the one that really jumped out the gate with it. I think I remember
It ain't Eric Thomas, no.
E.T.
Or is it?
it might be him. The guy to be mean when he be talking.
Yeah, that's
I just heard him the other day
E.T.
talk about he was talking about fathers and he was talking about kids. And he was like, how you gonna tell this kid that they're not gonna be successful when they got a trainer and they got a father?
That's right.
Their father is their trainer.
Right.
Who's gonna push them harder? You know what I'm saying?
That's
so
right.
what you just brought that back in my head when you said that.
That's
you
real.
Know what I'm saying?
E.T. said some real things though. He
Man,
does.
ain't nobody messing with him, bro.
Have you had to play that father figure role to some of your players? I know, like
Wow,
my
that's a good
brother.
question.
My brother is a football coach,
Mm-hmm.
and he coaches at JSU. He's been coaching now for probably 7, 8 years and whatnot. And to see like how he interacts with some of those guys, and even though they're not that much younger than him, because they're 18, 19, 20s, and he's in his 30s or whatever. But I've seen just how he's had to play a certain role to some of those kids because they grew up without a father, like their dad's in jail or whatever the case may be. So have you had to play that role for any of your players?
Definitely. That's actually a good question. When Connor was younger, we started him out in the Magic City League playing football, and of course that's the inner city.
Yeah.
And you will run into kids like that that are actually looking for that guidance, or they even that young, they'll look at that relationship and they'll admire it, and they'll come to you for
Yeah,
it.
they're just drawn to it.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And you catch several of those opportunities, but I've always used those opportunities to let them know that the same thing that he does, you can do it too.
Right.
You know, and you're going to get that same pat on the back. And just like you get that same pat on the back when you come to me looking for it, I know you like what you see. You're going to get this same fussing at too.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so because
Right.
that's what you're drawn to naturally. Because if you see me with my sons and we're on the field, that's what I'm doing.
Right.
Hey, you can do better than that. Like,
Right.
Dad, I made a perfect catch. Yeah, but still, you could have had your feet set a little bit better. And they're drawn to that. And when I praise them, man, give me a high five, man. You working.
Right.
And they love it. They love it. So, yeah, plenty of opportunities have presented itself in such a way.
That's what's up.
And you try to take advantage of all of them. You do. Because you don't know who them kids going to grow up and be. And remember you for it.
That is
Right?
true.
You right about that. I remember at one point in time I was calling Tuck trying to see if he could help me get into when I had the time, like, before, photography took off. Like, I wanted to be a youth football coach, man. And I just wanted it I wanted to give back what some people gave to me. That's what I'm saying? Because, shout out to the relationship I have with my dad now, but I didn't always have the relationship that I had with my dad now. So that's why I understood exactly what you said when I said that, kids are drawn to stuff like that. Because each level of my life, no matter where I was at, I always tried to find somebody that was older and wiser that I could attach myself to.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So, when I was in the military, with my staff sergeant, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't supposed to be hanging out with him after hours. It was against the rules. Like, you wasn't supposed to do it. But I was at his house with his kids and his wife because that's who I felt like was going to look out for me and make sure that I was okay. You know what I'm saying? So I get exactly what you're saying. So I want to ask you this, man, and I know once I ask this question, Kim going to automatically know what the spin-off question is going to be. So I heard that you said that you're a banker by day and that you and the wife got a couple of different businesses. So tell us about those businesses and just how you handling all that.
Well, first, I have to give credit where credit is due. It would be trucking, and that would be accredited to my wife because she was the one who kind of got in the grassroots and kind of dug that thing out and put everything together as far as the paperwork and all of that.
Right.
So shout out to her for that. And kind of my role in that is, I went and got my CDL, and I will get the trucks and park them, go get the trailers or whatever, just kind of handle the leg work, the part the man's supposed to do.
Okay.
The part that requires less thinking and more doing.
Gotcha.
And so in a sense, I'm the do boy.
Would that be the correct term when you married?
Well, I mean, what else would you call it? It ain't much different, no matter what you call it.
Just a dude boy?
Well, in that regard, if you will, in that regard, and I don't have a problem with that either because that's what I am. I'm a doer. You know, so
Right.
yeah, I get out there and I get active with it, and actually I kind of like it, to be honest with you. It gives you a chance to go from sitting at a desk to actually going and throwing some stuff around, moving some stuff. You know, it got a kind of manly feel to it. You know, you get the
I
feeling.
still can't believe you know how to drive no trucks.
Man, I be whooping that thing, boy.
Tipping on fofos.
yeah. I do a little something. I'm not the best, but I can get the job done. How about that?
Got you. So,
So I always ask this question to all of our guests that come in. How do you balance being a father, being a husband, and just doing everything you do? How do you balance everything?
Truthfully, Kim LaChester, you have to stay flexible. You have that's the key to everything that I do.
Right.
Remaining flexible, because let's just be honest, I'm a man, right? And something will slip my mind. And when you have kids and all of them are active and you have real life going on at the same time and you have a demanding job, something is going to slip your mind every now and again.
Of course.
Right? So you always have to position yourself to be able to move some things around as well as yourself. And you have to have a partner that's willing to stand in the gap for you when you have not remembered all you are to be doing at a certain or particular time, if you will. So the main thing is going to be flexibility. And I guess the next thing after flexibility, accountability, because you don't want to be always pushing something off on someone else being your spouse because you have failed to plan, right? So, I mean, it's flexibility and it's accountability. And I think a nice balance of both kind of makes it work. And you're going to be tired. True. You're going to be tired all the time. You're always going to be moving. But we do that. We work hard now so we can chill later. That's what we do it for.
But even like with you being tired, because I hear a lot of guys that are fathers saying this, is like, especially like friends of mine, that they may be single dads, they may be married. So, and a lot of times too, we as women, we don't always ask like, how are y'all doing? So how do you recharge with everything that you have going on?
The recharge part is kind of easy for me, especially being a father, because when you see the success of your kids, oh man, that's instant gratification.
Yeah.
For instance, Connor, my 11-year-old playing baseball, he's starting to hit home runs over the fence. I mean, he putting them out there. And when he does that, it's instant gratification. You know, you're like, oh, man, it's almost like you hit the home run yourself sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So that's instant gratification. And even with my baby boy, he hit him 8 home runs. They was inside the park, but he came along pretty fast and pretty well in baseball. Even Grace. I mean, that's instant gratification, and that's what keeps you going. When you see the success of the people around you, oh man, it does something to your spirit. It just lights a fire up on you, knowing that you can't stop right there.
Right.
Even when he comes home and all you see is the highest level of S's or G's on his report card. Keen, even Connor, you know, you getting A's and B's. I mean, man, we got to keep going. That's the recharge right there. The recharge is the gratification that you get from the successes that the ones that are around you that you're doing it for. When they have that success, oh, that does enough for me. Gotcha. I'm doing my job.
So that's your recharge. You don't have to take self-time for recharge.
I take a little self-time. I ain't gonna say all I do for my me time. I mean, me and you connect on that level. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we take me time every now and again. But understand the me times are short and few in between.
Right.
But that's enough, I'll take a little second to chill out and relax, do what I do while I do it. And I'm gonna get right back to it. Matter of fact, when I get the me time also helps recharge me. Because now you're going to see another side of dad to be like, you know what, man, dad's silly. You know what I mean? Yeah, crazy. Yeah, I am.
I got you. I got you. So that helps to keep everything in perspective because, like a lot of, well, every dad thus far that's been on this platform is married. Okay. I haven't had no single. I almost had a single dad.
Okay.
It's actually somebody that, well, you know what? I can't say that he's single, and I actually can't even call his name.
Okay.
Because it's somebody that me and you mutually know, so we'll talk about it afterwards.
Okay.
But he would have probably been, retrospective, would have been the single dad to give the single dad talk.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because, his separation is going on.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he still had to be there for his kids because he got a lot of them too.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's just, when she asked the balance question, we've had people to come into this room, and like I know we've sat in here and talked with some people that talk about like date nights, like out the week, as far as like keeping the relationship, the marriage, and keeping it intact and stuff like that. And me listening to you talk, and me listening to a couple of the other fathers talk, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't really hear a lot of them saying that, okay, yeah, we got having date nights. This is the mandatory date night out of the week, or this, that, or whatever. Like, when we talk balance and we're talking about keeping all that stuff in perspective from a father standpoint, you know what I'm saying? Because that's all those hats is one. You know what I'm saying? Like, they all is one. Like, so with everything, like, does your wife understand, like, what you're saying with your flexibility about your schedule, banking schedule, trucking schedule, kid schedule, I think you told me you back in theology school, you know what I'm saying?
Seminary.
So, like, with all of that, you know what I'm saying? Like, does the wife, like, allow for you to have, like, a peace of mind with everything you have going, or does it seem as if, like, you need to try something else for the balance?
That's a great question. That's a great question, because you kind of put yourself in a pickle, if you will, when you take up so much things to do that you consider yourself to be responsible for, like you said, with school, with kids, with the different businesses, etc. And what you really want to not lose sight of is the fact that there is somebody else that's making this thing go round, right? And just being honest, I'm a real life dude, and I'm gonna give you a real life perspective. I forget things, and I will lose sight of that because I'm so locked in on what it is that I'm doing, and I know that I need to stay on top of that, right?
Right.
So me as a man, what I expect, and I understand my expectations as a man doesn't speak for everybody else around me, right? And much less the woman. But me as a man, I think that it should be understood that the come and go has to be understood and attained by both of us.
Okay.
But a lot of times people, when we're getting to the come and go, they go to talking about, well, what about me, right? Yeah, and we do the best we can with it. And just being honest with you, man, I can do better. We as men who are focused and we have our families, we have our arms around that. I mean, it'll get hard. Because that's a joint, truly a team effort,
right?
And a lot of the times I feel like even with me, I put myself on the back burner, willingly, all the time. You understand what I'm saying? And to do that, I think it should be understood that sometimes you're gonna be on the back burner too. But we can't forget about each other in the process.
Right.
Are planned date nights a real thing? Maybe they are in some households, but I question what all they're getting done at the same time. You feel what I'm saying?
I hear that shit.
Hey, I'm gonna keep it real,
Look,
bro.
and this is essentially the reason why I asked that, bro. Because you seem like the type of dude, like, as a man, I know what my household needs to function. I know what my kids need in order for me to be that effective father. Is that good enough to maintain my marriage? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is that good enough to maintain my relationship?
You say something real insightful.
Or I still got to deal with a whole lot of extra stuff that's adding and pouring more into it. You see what I'm saying?
You're going to deal with the relationship. I understand. Yeah, that is insightful what you're talking about right now, bro. And you're still going to deal with the trials and tribulations of the relationship as you do what you do. I'm just one of the ones who says that regardless of what you're dealing with in one area, it should not affect what's going on in the other area. Because I'm being a bad husband don't mean I got to be a bad father. You feel me?
Dog, talk to me when you can.
You feel me? I mean, hey, I'm just going to keep it real. That's just what it is. And I mean, maybe I need to step up in one area, but if I got my arms around this area, I need to keep it there.
Right.
And it doesn't mean I need to take something off of this. No, why would I take something off of what I got going right? No, I just need to figure out a way to apply, if you will, pressure to this other side. And it can be kind of hard when we're within the confines of time.
Got you.
Because a lot of the times that's what it takes, Kim. It's
Yeah.
gonna take you can attest. You're a woman. This stuff takes time with relationships. It takes time to plan. It takes time to wine. It takes time to dine. It takes
Right.
time to go out and buy the right gift instead of just going spending money on just something. You feel
Right,
what I'm saying?
right.
The
And
intentionality of it.
yeah. And a lot of the times, just to be honest with you, us as men, when we out here working and we out here getting it for real, we ain't got the mental space for that.
Period. Can we drop a bomb, please?
Hey,
Ladies, he has a point.
hey.
And I feel you, bro. And I don't want to go too far left.
That's not left. That's real.
I just wanted to, acknowledge the fact that, you know what I'm saying, us old school 80 babies, like, we was raised to take care of our family and our households. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
And in the era, in the day and age that I came from, even my shrink, bro, you know what I'm saying, told me, she was like, this is what you have to realize. Like, she told me, it was like, it's really like two types of men in the world. You got the men that's gonna be at home under their woman 24/7 doing bare minimum, and you got the men that are gonna have a presence at home and make sure the home is taken care of, but they're not home as much because they're always grinding trying to get it.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to choose the one you want. You can't get the dude that's gonna be able to be financially great and
Gonna be
all this
short
and
somewhere,
that.
bro.
Like somewhere.
You're gonna be short somewhere.
Where you gonna accept the shortness at?
Where you gonna accept the shortness?
Because you got to accept some
hey,
type of
man,
shortness,
that
right?
man don't go to preaching in this room.
I'm just saying, Ken, what you got to say? Sips tea. Sips tea.
Ladies, he has a point. They're very valid. you
But
know, I mean,
my man, look, man, I really appreciate you coming, man. I want you to do one quick thing
Thanks
for
for
us,
having
man.
me,
I want you to just drop 3 gems of like, three things. They don't have to be terribly long, but just, 3 advice tips or 3 little strong things that you would recommend to any father if they call or text you or be like, hey man, this is what I'm dealing with, blah, blah, blah. Like any little advice that you can put out there that's going to help a father out for Father's Day, man. So happy early Father's Day to you first and
I
foremost.
appreciate it. I
And
appreciate
then,
it.
just real quick, man, I want you to drop them 3 gems, you know what I'm saying? Give that knowledge to the fathers that are listening to the podcast. And then I want you to plug yourself one more time. Tell the people what you do. And as far as any services that you offer, you know what I'm saying? Make sure that you plug that at the end as well. And we're going to get ready to get out of here, bro.
And it's real. Okay. Number 1, as far as the 3 tips that I would give every father, and this is just kind of starting at the top because I really poured out of myself for real. Love your kids. That's number 1. And we don't want to just say we love them because we do stuff for them. We take care of them. Love them like you wanted to be loved when you were a kid. Right? That love that you missed, that love that you didn't have, that you yearn for inside. Love your kids that way. And love them to a point to where you understand, if you're a believer, that love that God gives us as men, as fathers, as his children, a father and his children, give that same love to your kids, right?
Okay.
Number 2, let them learn and let them grow up and give them the tools necessary to be able to do that. Let them learn, let them grow up, and give them the necessary tools to make their own decisions out here in this world. We can't control them, and if we are being honest with ourselves, we learned a lot of things through trial and error. We had the information, but you still had to go out there and learn through trial and error. So, right, give them the information, let them learn and let them grow. Don't try to keep your hands on them and guide them throughout life because that's going to create a problem when they are older.
Right.
It's going to create a big problem. I can promise you that. And my kids are not of that age yet to where they can go out and get themselves in a whole bunch of trouble. But trust and believe, I've seen it with my peers. I've seen it with guys that are my age that started having kids earlier. Hey, don't try to guide them. Take your hand off of them and let them learn while they're young, right? And keep them biblically sound. Keep them biblically sound. That's so they can know the difference, right? Like we got 3 steps. We got knowledge, we got understanding, and we got wisdom. And we all want our kids to attain wisdom, right? But they can't do that without first attaining knowledge. You get knowledge, then you understand, and the application thereof is wisdom, right? Okay. And I got to give them 4, bro. I got to give them 4. I can't tap out with 3. Raise your kids, check it out, to be responsible. Raise them to be responsible. Our job as parents, not just fathers, but our job as parents is to raise responsible adults. Now, regardless of your religion or whatever you want to believe in life, or whether there's a greater being or whatever, you still have that charge to be responsible.
Right.
Raise your kids to be responsible, regardless of what you believe in. I think everybody can get on that page.
Okay.
Well, I don't want to be taking care of no grown folks their whole life. Hey, facts. Facts. Bro, I'm trying to get out the game myself. I need you to get me out the game early.
Facts. That's why the party game.
Yeah, raise them to be responsible. Hey man, I ain't gonna dwell there for too long, man. Once again, I'm Kendall Latham. I'm a banker by day. Matter of fact, if you got any commercial real estate loans that you're trying to get done, just holler at your boy. You can probably get up with me through LeCheston if you need something done. Man, we do the little trucking business. If you want to drive, you looking for a truck, you need a truck, holler at me. If you need a place to stay, I got a rental property or two I can put you in.
Okay.
You know, we get it done how we get it done, man. And other than that, man, your kids need coaching. Bring them out there, Hoover, man, and I'll coach them up. I'll have them tunning.
That's what's up, man. Again, man, here at the What You Mean podcast, man, we appreciate you coming, man.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Man.
I had a great time.
That's what's up. So in the meantime, between time, man, y'all already know, man, if you are listening to us right now in your whip or you listening to us at work right now because you're sipping on your coffee trying to get your day started, man, we appreciate you tuning in so much, man. Thanks so much for the continued support right now. If you're not following and subscribe to us, man, make sure you do that right now. If you're looking at us on YouTube right now, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and leave us some comments, man. You know, we are getting ready to end our season 1. Season 2 is going to be crazy. We're already in the planning for it. And don't forget that the website is open. Go and check out the website. It's www.whatyoumeanpodcast.com. But I blabbered enough, man. Thanks again to our guests, man. In the meantime, between time, I'm LeCheston.
And I'm your co-host.
Man, and holler at your boy, man. I want to come back.
Hey, y'all already know what it is, man. Peace.